Introduce yourself.
I'm Matt Kane, and this is Remember. This is a zombie survival horror game.
Yeah, right.
It has mechanics that encourage you to be very careful because
because I think it's for
if you get
Mike Murdoch and
if you get damaged very much, the game becomes much more difficult.
Mike Murdoch.
So it's striving for high tension gameplay.
It's quite great.
So what's you just have to get to the
Basically, the story is
There's a bit more that'll
you're in a small American town,
just the second.
and it's been recently overrun by zombies, and your goal is only to survive. The first sequence is meant to be somewhat of a tutorial, so it's pretty linear, but it opens up to kind of an open world environment at the end. So
It does other stuff too.
Okay, I did not know that.
yeah, so these early stages are meant to be pretty educational for the player.
You hitting them with a bat?
We should get out of here.
So you have a baseball bat right now.
I can cut it.
So zombies can be pretty resilient, but because they're slow, they're not too dangerous on their own.
Right.
They have a tendency to group up though, and in large groups they can be very dangerous. There are several mechanics that make being careful even more important. Everything you do causes sound, which can attract zombies to you. They can also see you, obviously. So basically zombies have three senses. They have sight, smell, and sound.
That was just
And so if you're really quiet, you can avoid attracting large crowds. But if you start getting into really large fights, you tend to get swarmed. So the key is to, even though you may not be like low on health or anything, the key is to always be careful because you can always escalate your danger by a lot if you're not careful.
So done by 3 guys, and then the music is a 4.
So
Actually,
there's kind of a flashlight mechanic.
but this track.
Zombies can be really difficult to see if you don't have your flashlight on them. They're almost impossible to see. So
It's really nice.
But does the flashlight actually attract zombie?
it does not actually. So they don't care about light. They just care about brains.
So it's only like 6 people then, I guess.
So yeah.
The composers only did 1 or
This is a
2
wall.
tracks.
Can't go through
The
That way.
main work is just 3 guys.
And yeah, so this game is kind of the opposite maybe of the one you just showed, which it is supposed to be punishing. It's supposed to be high tension. It's supposed to make you carefully consider what you do. At the same time, you still can recover from things, and
If you ever want
we're working
to,
hard
like,
to find a balance
switch inverted
between
anything, hit this
high
up.
tension and unplayable. So
It'll also show you the controls.
How many people on your team?
there's 2 people.
2 people, and how long have you guys worked on this?
Left
Just this
trigger,
semester.
you can get the
So,
brakes
or,
on,
yeah. So this is for intermediate undergrad class. It's in Unity.
Is when I want to
Sometimes zombies.
So are those actually just texture blocks?
maybe like move the
Uh,
camera
walls and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the geometry is it's a top-down orthographic view. So
It's this
textures are
fine
kinda
line of
hacked.
using the tuck right, which is your right trigger. The tuck
they only have textures on the tops of the geometry.
Is there a button to?
So it seems like the performance is suffering a bit.
Yeah, this is not the best machine, and we have some performance
Like
optimization
if I
to work
want to
on
transfer to
still.
the right, do I have to hit the ground and
There's a lot of zombies, so we need to.
Oh, you got a gun? Or not
Yes,
yet?
so there's his ammo. So there's multiple weapons in the game. We just introduced them somewhat slowly because this is a tutorial. And
Yeah, like I wanted to
sprint.
turn and then
So the bar on the
save
bottom
a little bit
is
in
a
there.
stamina bar. And basically you can
Which is
fill
a
it
good
like in
move.
food.
Roll.
Everything you do burns stamina. You actually,
But stamina recovers eventually.
so it's kind of a dual energy system. there's energy, which is the yellow bar, and then stamina is the red meter on the
So the
right
food
side.
controls the max energy.
Yeah.
Stamina.
So basically, attacks burn energy. If you go crazy and you keep attacking, like past minimums, you start to burn stamina.
Died, so it starts
So that can be really dangerous because if you completely lose all your stamina, you will die. So it's another sort of positive reinforcement system that
It kind of takes
is supposed to encourage careful
Like if you're
gameplay
just gonna
habits.
glance off of a tree or
So
something,
you can carry 2 weapons at a time,
high speed crash.
kind of like Halo. And with your gun, if you hold right click,
It's just
it
takes
stops
you
you,
to
but
the
you
safe
can
playground.
aim.
Focus.
You can narrow your aim because otherwise
That's
it's
the
pretty
whole idea.
inaccurate. So
It's like a loading screen.
try to line up a kill in the zombie.
It's not,
like an
but-
Assassin's Creed. You can like
Move around without loading. Yeah. Here it's specifically designed to be just a safe space. You crashed. Maybe you're not working.
I kind of like this environment though. It's an actual level like this because
No, the tutorial takes place like this, but then you wake up as the
One of the key
I like this
gameplay behaviors which we're trying to develop here is exploration.
Why is that?
And by driving that exploration motivation with player systems. So stamina is a primary driving force and pushing players to explore the map for food and for resources. Like many horror games, there's limited ammo, limited resources, and so because you will eventually run out left to your own devices, it's important to go explore and find more. Otherwise, you will die. Obviously, when you explore more, you also learn more danger. Like
you play like Max Payne,
zombies.
like multiple zombies, like environment there and stuff like that.
So I just dropped the revolver and picked up a semi-automatic pistol.
I think it's a sharp part.
It's a little bit weaker, but it's got a larger magazine and it fires faster.
I think storms just generally make you feel like less powerful, like in a game. In a game, usually like
Anything else you want to talk about?
So basically, there's this tutorial sequence where it's pretty mild. A few zombies here and there. The part I'm about to get to is kind of where it opens up.
mechanics,
This is the main mode of gameplay we're trying to develop, which is more open world, survival based.
Well-designed game always.
So once you get through here, you basically get completely swarmed.
Once you have complete mastery,
It becomes much more difficult to survive.
whether it's that
Zombies so houses tend to be safe zones if you can clear them out, but zombies do have the ability to break down doors and windows, so they're not always
the
safe.
coding is done by Logan, who's in here right now.
So can I go back to the previous zones? There's only going forward, which is into a
It
giant.
looks like you couldn't go past that fire.
Yeah.
I was there for
Well, that's a friendly fire.
Friendly fire.
So now there's a lot of zombies. So I just picked up the rifle, which is maybe not the best
Feels
decision
like-
for right now, actually, because
Slapping your wounds
it's pretty
has
slow.
been fun because I have to keep pressing in order to keep
It's
going.
really
And I can-
accurate.
Sure, I can tap a
you
few
walk
times
faster
to get
than zombie?
speed, even though it has like
You
this,
do walk faster than a
it
zombie,
doesn't-
and you
it's not
can
like a
sprint away from
one-on-one
them.
button press,
Yeah.
it's
But
intentionally like timed out. And I can build my speed by holding, this trigger. So it would be nice if like just pressing that button.
What happens
maybe
when
give me
zombie
a couple
attacks you?
flaps
Does your
just to keep
stamina
me
go
going,
down?
So I didn't have to.
Yeah, so, no,
Maybe
actually
I'm
your
just not
stamina doesn't
doing it the
represent
way
your
they
health, it's
thought
just
about it, but I'm
kind of
sure
like
this
your
is
energy. So if a zombie attacks you, you actually have injury states.
Okay.
It does.
So
it
now-
does
That's
actually,
kept track
just keep
separately
doing it.
by
So I'll
condition.
move out
Yeah,
of this, like,
so right now I have fractures and
Nah,
bleeding effects on me.
serious.
Fractures cause me to move more
I kind of
slowly.
linger.
Right.
And
Bleeding attracts
bleeding,
them.
and bleeding causes me to lose stamina more quickly, which is very dangerous over time. So
using that.
I actually
dot,
have 4 med packs, so I'm going to use one right
it's
now.
gonna get more
I just
speed
healed myself.
Like
So I'm back to
Yeah.
healthy, but I'm
No,
getting
yeah, I see
surrounded.
that. So it kind of
Trees
makes
can
me
be
feel
really
like
dangerous
that.
because you can't see underneath them
Those are
until.
tents.
I thought maybe that the
Yeah,
purpose
so that,
of
I'm kind of going through a forested area.
the flapping was.
And they're really dangerous because
now
you can't see underneath them until you actually get underneath them.
Because I can build speed by doing
So it's really
that, and then
it's
maybe
easy for
getting
zombies to
flapped
hide in there,
sometimes.
just like here.
So that's what I mean. It feels like.
And they tend to swarm you out of the trees.
Oh, you Town
I
food.
really like it though. Just like there's like a
Get
few
some stamina back.
control things that might
Bleeding.
just be
Some machete here.
individual case, but still it's good to share with you get your team interface. So when I looked at it from the point there, the act of flying, I was
About
like,
to die here.
Right
now, it just like it really pulls you in.
I'm
But then
severely
when I'm actually
injured,
flying,
so
it's just,
I'm
like,
basically a
couple
sitting
little
duck.
Irks here and there. Like, and
And
it feels like
at this
part
point-
of it, they were kind of thinking, well, like, well, a bird actually.
I'm
does
most
this.
likely gonna die.
Oh,
But
that makes a good ending.
sometimes
Yeah.
it's my opinion that you should move away from the reality in order just to give the person a more fun experience.
During the design process, there was a little bit of focus
So all this
on
fighting has attracted a lot more zombies, and I'm pretty much surrounded at this
something
point
scientific.
because I kind of just wasn't very careful.
not
I was just running through the
scientifically
forest.
sound per se.
Yeah, but believable. Yeah, it kind of reads, it feels like some of the control schemes, it's like, well, I guess a bird wouldn't really do that, but at the same time, as a player, I'm just like, that's nice, but I kind of
You
want
want to fudge in your direction.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I just healed myself, and
Need more health.
yeah, so it opens back up into a larger town that's more open.
Super.
Trees start to.
And at this point, your only goal is
So
to survive
that
as
is
long
an
as you can,
artifact of the game.
which is difficult because there's hundreds of zombies.
When you're really far away, since there are tons of trees, it's not actually populated.
That's